Hello, welcome back. Today I've got a really lovely one. I'm really looking forward to this actually. It's a nice, Archie's not. Bye. It's a really lovely deep stretch that you can do in bed, you can do on your lunch break. It's just a really nice one. Maybe if you've got cramps, this is a lot of hip opening, upper body strength, really nourishing. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. So grab a mat, get a little bit of space, and let's get ready to go. If we haven't met before, by the way, my name is Emma and I am a blind Pilates instructor. So my guide dog has wandered off, he's bored. And he don't want to be involved, so I mean he might pop over, he might not, but I do try to audio describe everything in as much detail as possible. Here he is, hi, so that blind and visually impaired people can also follow along. We've got really gorgeous sun today. Oh, there's a lovely down dog. There's a lovely down dog. We've got really nice sun coming in, which that's lovely, but it's putting strips of light across the floor that I can't fix, so I do apologise about that, but let's get ready to go. Otherwise, hey, you're going to stretch with me today? That would have been a nice one if I was doing a down dog too. But in your own time, bring yourself down onto the mat, or maybe you're in bed, and we're going to bring the big toes together and just start to feel that contact of the big toes. As you're on your front, you bring your knees maybe to the width of the mat, and we're going to lower down towards the mat. So you might want to actually grab a cushion or something to rest your head on, or even put underneath your legs where they fold, the back of the knees, or in front of you. But just being nice and comfortable, fully relaxed. Just start to take a nice deep breath in through the nose. Maybe the deepest breath you've taken in today. And as you exhale, just feel yourself melting into the space, whether it be your mat or your bed. If you're not comfortable here, you can be on your back, feet together, knees open instead. But whatever position you're in, we're letting those hips open. We're breathing into it. Just start to zone out from everything that's going on around you, and in terms of what's outside the room, outside, what you've got planned for the rest of the day. And let's just be a little bit more present. Just tuning in to maybe how we're feeling, the temperature maybe of the room and the mat that you're on. Maybe the sounds around you. And then slowly from here, squeeze the legs together. Tuck your toes under and just sit back into those toes, getting a nice deep stretch through the feet. If you want to deepen the stretch, start to press up into the hands. Hands pressing into the bed or the mat. And the closer you walk your hands in towards your knees, or even fully sitting back onto them, the deeper the stretch. Try to have your heels together so they're not opening out to the side. Maybe bring your feet completely together rather than hip distance. Good. And then place the hands in front of you, untuck your toes. If you need to adjust anything, if there's any wrist pain, you can be on your fists. Just tweak what you need. And let's start to come in and out of a cat stretch. So we're going to have the hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, and we'll round our spine up, creating this lovely curve through the back. Tucking our head, tucking our tailbone, and then ripple through the opposite way, feeding the chest, the tailbone lift. And we go again. So we can start to tuck the tailbone under, then the lower back, then the middle back, then the chest and the head tucks under. And then we go back the other way. We lengthen our hips, our tailbone up. We let our chest, and then our head sink down to the mat. And we try to move each part of the spine bone by bone. Maybe closing down the eyes and just feel each part of the spine and just tune into how it's all feeling. Let's start to ripple a little bit more. So we're kind of shifting, lengthening the spine as we sit back. That's it, lifting the chest and the head. And then as we shift the weight forwards over the hands, we arch the spine up. And then as we melt the back down, lift the head, lift the chest, we sit back towards our heels. And then as we round up again, we shift forward. So we're starting to create this lovely little flow, getting a little stretch through the wrists. And if your toes are still tucked under, a lovely stretch into your toes. Just moving as you need to. And then we can deepen that stretch into the upper body by shifting the weight so the hips are over the knees, but the hands are now going to step even further forwards. And we're going to drop our chest to the floor as our hips stay up into our puppy dog. And I actually have a puppy dog on my mat to share it with me. Good. Just sinking the chest down here. And then maybe we ripple through into this, so we round up and then we drop into our puppy dog on the way back as we sit back towards our heels and we round up. We're just flowing again. Nice. And then when you're ready, you're giving me space for the next bit. Oh, that was almost a good picture, Archie. We're going to bring ourselves, so we're on the hands and knees. If you're on your back, you can hug your knee into your chest. And we're going to now step the right foot in between the hands. Okay. So the sole of the foot is pressing down to the floor and you have your knee stacked on top of your ankle. Your back leg is reaching back long. And if you want to, you may want to bring your hands to the inside of that front foot and just bring yourself a little lower down towards the elbows, the forearms, shuffling that right foot slightly out to the side to deepen that stretch into your hips. And let's just take a moment here to breathe into it. Maybe adding like a block or pillows underneath your hands to bring the floor closer to you. Whoa. And then slowly step the hands back either side of that front foot, walking the foot back in line. You can keep the back knee down or you can now lengthen it up to deepen the stretch through the hip flexors. Keep your left hand on the floor and we'll reach the right arm up to the ceiling or out to the side, twisting your upper body towards that front leg. You can start to slowly go back a little further, almost like you're trying to twist and reach your arm back behind you. Breathing into it. And then place the hand back down to the floor, drop the back knee, and let's shift the weight back towards our hips or heels as we straighten that front leg out. Heel on the floor, toes up into a lovely little hamstring stretch. And from here, we can come in and out of rounding the spine. God, this is really difficult. Rounding almost into a cat stretch, tucking the pelvis under. And then trying to lengthen back out, which is really difficult. And I'm definitely not making this look smooth. And then shift the weight forward, swing that leg around, back underneath your hip to do the other side. So we step the other foot in between the hands. Maybe one hand each side of the foot. Maybe shuffle the foot out to the side as you lower yourself down maybe to the forearms, or slightly bend the elbows, deepening that stretch through the hips. And again, just tune in and just notice, does this side feel maybe different to the other side? Is there a tighter side of your hip? Maybe you need to shuffle a little bit more and change the stretch on this side. Just breathing deeply into it. And then shift the foot back to the middle, one hand each side of the foot. If you want to, keep the knee down or tuck the back toe straight and the back leg out. Now right hand, so the left foot is in front, right hand stays there, and we reach the left arm up to the ceiling, opening the chest towards that front leg. Maybe tipping back a little more, deepening that stretch. Place the hand back down to the front foot, drop the back knee, shift the weight back towards your heels with that lengthened leg still, that left leg still lengthened. Heel up, heel down, toes up, and round your spine like you're tucking your head, your tailbone under. And then try to lift a little bit and extend out, which I am struggling with. I have super tight hips and hamstrings. I always have, no matter how much dance and that I did. And let's shift the weight forwards. Good, take that leg back behind you and let's lower down to the mat for a moment, all the way onto your front. And we're gonna take the arms wider out to the side than the mat. Let the arms go slightly forwards of the shoulders, press the hands into the floor and lift your chest up, rolling your shoulders down your back. So the arms are quite wide, as far as they can almost go out to the side. And then let's swivel our right shoulder in. I'm not going to go all the way because of the microphone. Swivel our right shoulder in so it comes to the center of the mat, looking over your left shoulder. So that left arm is still pushing the floor away. And you're turning your head like you're listening to the floor with your right ear, or you're looking over your left shoulder to deepen the stretch. And then we come up. We do the same to the other side. We drop the left shoulder down to the mat. We look over our right shoulder. Legs are long behind us. And we come up. Let's do one more time to each side. Swivel in. Dropping your right shoulder to the center of the mat. And then to the other side. And just, again, notice if there's one shoulder tighter than the other. Good, and we come back. Take the hands underneath the chest. I'm going to shuffle forwards a little. Tuck your toes under, and in your own time, make your way to a down dog, an inverted triangle, pushing your hips up to the ceiling. Hips are high. Try to push your heels down to the mat and get your chest in line with your hands. Equally, if you need your knees to the floor, you can do a puppy dog or a child's pose, sitting back towards your heels instead. And then slowly walk the hands in towards you, tuck your toes. We're in a little crouch and we're going to rock on and off our toes. Nice little stretch for your feet. Good. From there, we're going to sit all the way back, rocking back. I'm going to swivel around, rock back, and bring yourself all the way down onto your back. Let's bring the feet together, open the knees, just like we did on our front. Feeling that energy of the feet pressing together. And the knees feeling nice and heavy out to the side. If this is not comfortable, you can change the position and let your head and your shoulders relax into the mat. Maybe placing one hand on your belly, one hand on your chest. Maybe arms out to the side, palms facing up. Just letting the mat support you. We can also hug the knees into the chest and almost give the back a little massage as we rock back and forth side to side, or even circle the hips. But we're just taking a couple of deep breaths here to just be on the mat and just settle or move and shift as we need to. And then when you're ready, you can stay here a little longer, or you can take your time to slowly roll onto your side. Push yourself up to a nice tall seated position. And that is it, you are done. Thanks for licking your bits out while I'm doing a relaxation video. Anyway, I hope you feel more refreshed, stretched out, maybe ready for bed, or maybe just to get up and move for the rest of your day, or maybe your lunch break, any time of the day basically. Sorry for the strips of light on the floor. If you haven't subscribed yet, it would be great if you do, if you enjoyed what you did today, and I will see you next time for another one. Take care, bye.